The story of the beautiful Landja. Landja is the most beautiful girl in the world and no one can compare to her. Just a glimpse is enough to dazzle me, that and number 39. That's why all the young men can, and number 39. Resist her charm. The bravest heroes all want her from her parents. Are two terrible villains, but all of them have to pay with their lives. Ahmad, the only son of a king, also secretly loves Landja. Deciding to marry her, his father was afraid and immediately advised him to give up that idea. He invited to the castle all the most beautiful women in the kingdom, but none of them moved him in the slightest. Ahmad still insisted on his intention. He mounted his horse and headed towards the desert. After a long journey, he finally reached the house of the two evil gods. Landja was sitting on the doorstep combing her long red hair. The prince quietly looked at her. He held his breath, stunned by her extremely beautiful beauty. Suddenly, Landja raised her head and her eyes met Ahmad. She said, "O stranger, you please me very much. But my parents and mine are about to return from hunting, and if they see you, they will kill you. Go hide your horse over there behind the ravine and then come back to the house with me." Ahmad did as she said. Go hide the horse and then come back to the house. In the first room there is a lid leading down to the cellar. The girl ordered him to hide inside. You should pull the rope as tight as possible to keep the lid closed. When we sit at the dinner table, please gently leave your hiding place. Dawn and number 39. Be afraid because no one will see you. The whole family will turn off the fire before eating because no matter how delicious the food is, we won. And number 39. Be interested in the light anymore. Please sit down with us and quickly grab a spoon to eat. Each person in the house only has one spoon, so the last person will say they don and number 39. Have one. At that time, my father would say, and quat. Let and number 39. Put all the spoons on the table to count. And quat. He must be the first to put down the spoon. After counting, he quickly takes one. Be careful. Hey, my parents are back. He ran quickly to hide. The mother, who was a cruel god, just sat down next to the fire and ordered, all the objects, come here so I can count them. In a moment, all the objects the house began to move. The flour sieve, the jar, the dishes, the bottles, the spoons, the knives, the rags, the chairs, even the table. Everyone approached her, but only the hatch lid did not move. She tried to pull it with magic, but Ahmad held the rope tightly and refused to let go. That and number 39. Strange. The mother exclaimed in surprise, the wooden lid did not come towards you today. Landja defended, it must be old, mother, it has no strength anymore. Mom, look, it tried to shake but could and hash 39. Move. The lid is so pitiful. The mother said emotionally, then she went to cook dinner. When the food was finished, the father turned off the fire in the oven and blew out the candles. At that moment, Ahmad gently left his hiding place and sat next to the villains. Without delay he reached for a spoon. A moment later one of the 7 brothers grumbled. Mom, I don and number 39. Have a spoon. But it and number 39. Clearly enough for the whole family. The mother affirmed. The father immediately ordered, everyone, please put down all the spoons and count. Ahmad quickly put the spoons back on the table and the whole family did the same. The mother began to count with her voice. "There are literally 10 spoons, enough for 10 people in the house. Now pick up a spoon and eat." Ahmad was the first person to pick one up. Immediately, one of the 7 brothers complained, "Mom, I don't and number 39 have a spoon." "But I just counted, there are indeed 10," the mother exclaimed in confusion. Now Landja and #39's father now he spoke up, "Whether you are a demon or a human, show yourself. We will not harm you because you have tasted our food and salt." Ahmad calmly replied, "I am a human being. I am a believer in Allah." The evil spirits lit candles to see their guest and number 39's face clearly. When they saw him, they kept their promise not to harm him at all. They asked his name and why he came here. Ahmad replied, "My name is Ahmad, I am the king and number 39's son. I got lost and came here by accident. I hope that tomorrow I will find my way home." So Ahmad slept at the villain and number 39's house. But he kept tossing and turning and could and #39 sleep. He was confused and didn't and #39 know how to convince Landja to follow him. When the first rays of dawn shone, the evil spirits gathered together to hunt. Only Landja remained at home. Taking that opportunity, the prince confessed to her, and quote, "It is because of you that I have the courage to come here." And quote, "Do you want to be my wife?" "Yes, Miss Landja trembled. I will go wherever you want, but we must go quickly so that my father does not catch up." Prince Ahmad immediately put Landja on the horse and number 39's back. He pushed hard on its side and raced straight back to the capital. Landja and #39's mother was washing clothes not far from home. Seeing them hiding, she flew into the forest to tell her husband and sons. Landja and #39's father also flew away angrily to chase after the 2 escapees. But the 2 of them still went ahead because the horse galloped away like an arrow. Finally the father caught up with the 2 of them. He cried out, "Landja, my daughter, you will leave us forever, but listen to me. If you stand in front of a river of diamonds, a river of gold or a river of silver, you must not drink a single sip of water, otherwise you will die in pain. If you see 2 animals fighting, never interfere with them. Listen to my advice or you will be victims of your husband and number 39's enemies and will be separated forever." Landja and Ahmad must cross the river of diamonds, then the river of gold, and finally Silver River. Despite the thirst burning their throats, they did not drink a single sip of water. Then they met 2 antelopes, 2 snakes, 2 roosters and 2 bulls who were fighting to the death, but they tried to refrain from getting involved in any of the fights. After a long journey, they finally reached to the city gate. There were 2 white pigeons flying and pecking each other to death. The prince could not stand that scene and rushed in to try to separate them. Then a large bird, spreading its extremely wide wings, rushed at him and caught him in its sharp claws, lifted him off the ground and flew him away right before Landja and #39's helpless eyes. It dropped him on top of a high mountain where its nest was. Landja struggled to cry until she could calm down. She held the reins and led the pink horse into the city. She sold her horse to the blacksmith and then exchanged her luxurious clothes for those of a maid. Then she rubbed coal on her face to disguise herself as a black girl and entered the king and number 39's palace. There, she was accepted as a lady and number 39's concubine. Every night, Landja climbed to the castle and number 39's rooftop, looked toward the eagle and number 39's nest far away and sobbed until the cold night fell. She just went back to her bedroom. However, one evening, she suddenly heard Ahmad and number 39's voice asking her, "How will my family welcome you? Where does she sleep? What do you eat?" "I only eat leftovers and sleep with the maids," Miss Landja sadly replied. That night, a courtier of the king went out to get some fresh air and overheard it, recognizing his voice of the prince. He quickly ran to tell the king, "Your Majesty, your son, Prince Ahmad is not dead yet. He was on the top of the mountain in an eagle and number 39's nest. Your Majesty, please believe me, what I said is true. With my own ears I heard the prince talking to a young girl crying on the citadel." The king was extremely happy, but he was confused and turned back to ask the old man, "Loyal and wise man, what should I do now?" The courtier immediately advised, "Your Majesty, you should kill a cow. The eagle realizes that it will rush down to eat the meat." When he had had enough, His Majesty demanded that he return the prince to him. The greedy animal will ask the king under what conditions he wants to receive the prince back, boneless or blood drained. "Your Majesty, please say that you can take back the bloodless prince if you want. Because if he gave the prince nutritious food, he could regain consciousness. But there was nothing the gods could do when he no longer had a skeleton." The king followed that wise advice and the prince was returned by the eagle. He was very weak, barely alive, but still alive. His father tried every way to take care of him and Ahmad also regained consciousness. Finally one day the prince opened his eyes and woke up. He looked around but could N&39 see Landja anywhere. "I Don and number 39 know any Landja," the king told him in surprise. "In recent times, there hasn't N#39 been any beautiful girl in the palace, except for a black maid. I want to meet her," the prince whispered. When the girl was brought, she entered the room and Ahmad asked her name. Landja did not say a word, just looked at his face with slightly sad eyes. The prince gently held her hand. Landja wanted to pull back his black hand and charcoal stains remained on the prince and number 39's hand. "Landja!" the prince cried out with happiness. From then on, he recovered very quickly. The wedding of Prince Ahmad and Landja lasted for 7 days and 7 nights. They lived happily together for the rest of their lives. Thank you for joining us for today's fairy tale. We hope these stories bring joy and meaning to your day. If you love our channel, please hit the subscribe button so you won't miss any exciting tales. Wishing you a good night and sweet dreams. See you in the next story.